Hello. We are prepping my nails, so same thing as always. Make sure that you push back your cuticles. When you do your nails, make sure you just use the orange stick that's included in your set to push back any cuticle, and then use the alcohol swab that is included to wipe off any excess oils on the fingernail so that they adhere very well. You will notice I trimmed my nails very poorly, I must say, because I'm going to need to, now that I'm looking at them, this is very poorly. So I'm going to have to clip them. Sorry, guys, I don't like to usually do that one, but this is one's crooked here. I cut them because I was worried that the length was going to be, I'm going to have to redo my, I think I'm going to have to redo the alcohol swab after this. This hand doesn't look too bad. And if it's terrible, I'll get this trash out of the way. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's just redo this hand real quick. I don't think it leaves any fine, like filing, but okay. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what they call a gradient look, which means each nail, see, I always call it gradient when it fades from one to the other, like, let me see if I have a set in here. Where are my glitter sets? See, I always call these gradient because to me they slowly, like this one. This one is lemon haze, how it slowly goes from one color to another. So I always called that gradient, but when I looked it up, it says gradient is one nail of each color. You'll notice that I'm a lot closer up the camera because I noticed last time and a couple times I'm looking at the camera to see my nails and I can't see as clearly, so I've positioned my camera to be a little bit, I'm going to try and move this a little or not. Well, I just snapped it out of the holder. Okay, let's twist the arm a little bit because I want to position it where I can see my hand but work effectively. So I want to be able to see it up close, but I wasn't able anyway. Okay, so we're gonna do going green. We're doing fairy dust. We're gonna do it as a full color. You could, in order to get a better look, probably you might want to actually do jewel dust, but we're using fairy dust this time because it's what I have and I didn't have a jewel dust. Bust a move. This is blue ice. You could also use Eye of the Maria, but I have blue ice. Eye of the Maria might look perfectly fine here. And then on my thumb, I wanted to do glitter bomb or a silver glitter. However, I apparently used all my silver glitters because I didn't have it in my stash. So I either put glitter bombs somewhere and I don't remember where, or I used it all. And I couldn't remember using it all. So it also may have been one of the ones that my daughter got into, but that's okay. So we'll get started and we'll get this done. So this is going green. It's a fine glitter. It's a bright glitter. Very pretty. You could do this for spring. A lot of people like to use it for that. I've seen people put In Bloom over this one. So as you can see, this way I am taking it, putting it right there up to my cuticle, not on the skin. And then smoothing it on. And we use one strip for 2 nails, so we're going to just use my thumbnail to fold underneath it, smooth that on pretty nicely, take off the tab. This is what we mean when we say it's double-sided. It means that this tab comes off and you can go and use the other side on the other hand over here. So again, we're putting it close to the cuticle, not on the skin, just on the nail, and smoothing it on, and then I will fold this over a little bit for the excess. We'll smooth it on. I like to use a rubber tipped cuticle pusher just to make sure that I smooth it on well to the nail all the way around. You'll see I go all the way around and I smooth it, and then you'll file off the excess, and you just do that by going straight down, not lifting up, straight down and getting the excess off as you go around the nail, and you'll see it comes off fairly well, that little excess bit. So I did, most of it did come off whenever I perforated. This one has a little bit more excess. If your nails are longer and you're just able to use one strip, then you can just use the nail file and file off the excess straight like that. But so for the most part, and there we are. I think that's like the best up close that I've got in here. As long as the camera continues to stay focused, let's see, right there on my nails, I know I move it and then it gets. So what we're gonna do to get a full look of fairy dust, because fairy dust is that overlay with the clear, I've traced on the back where I want to cut it so that it will be a full. I'm gonna take off that clear, and then we're gonna cut the shape and then place it on the nail, and that should give us that full nail. As you can tell, my tracing is not exactly great, but hopefully we actually probably should go underneath the line. Let's go underneath it, because I think we got a little bit more. Clear. There we go. Now it'll be. So now when I place it on, it's going to be almost a full. I also had to trim my nails. If you look at last week, they were a little bit longer. I trimmed them because I was worried that this length of glitter would not cover my full nail, because it was pretty long and I wanted it to look like a full glitter strip. So you can see that that clear is, I didn't want that clear to be here, and I put it on crooked. Okay, I don't want to touch it. I don't know why it doesn't matter. It's not on it, but I really don't like replacing them. You can, but I feel like it's like a less thing of tape, you know, when you put it on, it doesn't have as much. Oops. And that one I did it kind of closer to the top than I like, but it's okay. So now if you were someone who had longer nails, and this is a good demonstration for this, and you're not using that double-sided where you would take off that tab, then you would just push it down just like that. Make sure that it's like that. You can also pinch it. That might help if you have kind of like a rounded nail bed, which I do, and then pull it down, and that makes it easier for me to have a nice, the little tab came off anyway, a nice, let's move this trash out of the way, nice pulled down, make sure it goes all the way around, it's nice and smooth, and then you would just use your nail file to file off that excess, just like that. There you go, just like that. So that's going to be our look today. So we're slowly changing from green into blue. So you'll notice that the fairy dust, it's kind of got that look. So that's what our idea is here. So again, we're taking off the clear. We're going to cut it on the back where my little design is, and a little bit underneath it from what we did the last time. That's what I learned, a little bit underneath it, because we're taking off that clear. We want to show most of the, and you'll notice I use my strip backing as kind of a balancer for placing it on. And this nail always has this weird little, I'm gonna cut a little angle here. It's a little weird, I know, but this one always kind of has a weird little angle thing going on here. I don't know if you can see that, the way the shape is here, it kind of pokes down. It's not round, I don't know, so I just cut that little bit so it lays nicely. And then there we go. And now we'll do the same thing we did on the other side, smooth everything nice and down. Use my little cuticle. Oh, sorry, I bumped it with my other hand because of the position of this camera. I have it closer. If you're just coming on, I have it closer so that I can see in the camera exactly where I have it lined up, because before where I had it, it was a nice full visual of the table, but I was having a hard time seeing and being able to look at if anyone commented what was said. So kind of, there we go. So now we've got fairy dust and Going Green on. Now, if you wanted to do a similar look and you didn't want to have to do this extra step while you're tracing out, I would recommend using Jewel Dust. But like I said, whenever I started, I don't have Jewel Dust. Now, this strip is always the one for my nail. I have to trim just a slight bit on the side. It's just a slight bit wider than my nail. And this is the size right after the one I use for my ring. But the one on my ring finger, if you look at this, I'll show you why I do this way. If I were to try and apply this one, the width leaves a gap on both sides. So I go the next size up and I just slightly trim that little extra bit. And that's just something I've learned from using the strips over and over. And it's like a little tiny bit. So it's just a slight, there's just not a size in between these two. And that's why I do that, because it's just this. And I did it again. I need to lay it all the way on the side here, because otherwise it helps. Some people can tell the center of their nail and the center of their strip, but apparently I can't do that because I'm constantly leaving a gap on one side. I don't know why. And then again, we're just smoothing it down. I use my nail to perforate the underside, and we'll file off that excess. We're going to rip off this tab here, come over on this side, and we're going to place it on where I trimmed it. It didn't quite, you see that little bump, maybe. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there's a little bump where I trimmed it. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to smooth it on real nicely. Same thing, it's got a little bit of excess. We're just going to rub it down, and I did it crooked again. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I do, is I lay it down, but I did it crooked, and I don't like to do that after I smooth it. But I did it already. I need to get it on that side and then smooth around over. So when I don't, then I have a gap on one side, and then it's on the skin on the other side. Anyway, okay. Whoops, the middle finger. File off the excess here. And we'll get to the other nail while we fix it, because I did kind of mess up my middle finger on that side. I've been wearing these for 3 years and I still make mistakes, so. What do you think so far in the color changes? I think it's kind of fun. You could also do this with pinks to purple, or, well, purples to reds, I guess. Pinks colors, that would be pretty. Let's see, depending on what you wanted to use, we have a lot of colors, so it's kind of really up to you what you like. It's overhanging here. Or is it overhanging or just not sticking? No, it's a little, it does have a little overhang. Oh no, there we go. Get that little bit. I use my cuticle stick that's in the package to go along the edge to take off that little bit that was on my skin, because I think it is still, it's not too bad, you can't tell. It's not too bad. I need to put cuticle oil on, but do not put cuticle oil on right after you do your nails. Wait at least 30 minutes. I'll probably wait an hour actually, and do it after I pick up my daughter. And before I get my pictures. I will get pictures today of this one, but it will have to wait until the sun goes down a tad bit, because it's too bright, too bright. Did anyone get to see the eclipse last night? I was thinking of being a super awesome mom. I was thinking, but then it didn't work out that way because I forgot. I was thinking of letting my daughter stay up until 8:30, even though her bedtime is 8, just so she could see it. And it was supposed to start at our time at like 8:29, so I kind of wanted her to go outside to be able to see it in the dark. But I put her to bed at 8, and when I remembered, she'd already fallen asleep. She usually she's out usually by 8:15, so she was already out yesterday when I remembered, and I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna be a nice mom and tell her, okay, get in your pajamas, we're gonna go outside and look, get your sandals on and we can go look before bed, and I forgot. So there we go. What do you guys think? How does that look? I think it looks really good. I'm really excited about this. Okay, and then for the thumb, anyway, so I ended up not doing that. A few people did post pictures because they did get pictures of it, so I'm gonna have to show her that. But I was thinking I was gonna be a nice mom, and then I didn't. And then she woke up on a tad bit on the cranky side this morning because it's first day back after the weekend for school. So I was kind of like, it's just as well. So on my thumb, I'm going to be doing blue ice as well as was on my pointer. Now my intention was I wanted to do silver because I thought that would be fun. Like we're going green to the bright blue and then going to this kind of silvery blue. And I thought it would be fun to do it with glitter bomb here on the thumb because that's a silver glitter. I didn't have silver glitter bomb, any glitter bomb left in my bag. So like I said at the beginning, I may have just used it all and I didn't realize I used all the glitter bomb because I did have a few looks with glitter bomb, or I've put it somewhere that I don't know, which is would be weird because I normally keep everything all together. It might not be completely 100% organized, but they're all in the same little basket. And I went through and I organized everything this weekend because I was looking for glitter bomb because I was like, I know I have it. And then I said, okay, well, maybe I just have a silver that's in like one of our packages that's just multiples. And I didn't have a silver in a package that was open. I do have kind of a silver glitter. I have a set called Lilac Nothing. Don't want to put that on there. I want it to go here. I do have a set called Lilac Nothing, which has a silver in it, but it's kind of like not as thick as this, and I didn't want to open it just yet because it's listed on my website. If somebody wants to buy from my on stock on hand. So I am going to eventually use it if no one buys it because I do use from what's in my stock. But I'd rather leave it until I'm going to. I don't want to open it just for one set. So I figured we would just use two. Besides, I'm opening all of these ones brand new. All of these were brand new except Fairy Dust. So I opened them all just to get this look. I'm going to be using them eventually on other things planned out later on. So it's not an end of the world to do this. Okay, so here we go. Today's look took us 17 minutes. If I wouldn't have had to do all the cutting and getting sidetracked talking and all that stuff, probably would have been faster. But pretty fast, easy look. We did Going Green. We cut Fairy Dust to get a full look. If you want to see that, just when you can watch the replay, rewind it on this. Bust a Move and Blue Ice on the thumb. So that is our look for today. It's considered a gradient look. It's what they call it. When I looked it up, I Googled it to look up the term. I thought gradient was always in reference, but maybe this is the ombre. I don't know, I guess. This is more like an ombre nail, like when they do the nail polish, whereas this is more the gradient that it changes over time on the nails. So that's what it is. That's what it's called. Now you know. Thanks for watching and have a great Monday. See you next week with a new look.